everyone. How are you all? कैसे हैं आप सब? I'm sure आप सब मस्त है, स्वस्थ है और व्यस्त है. Please welcome to my channel Fit at 40. Do give it a thumbs up if you like my video. Do subscribe to my channel and please watch the video till the end. So we are in my myth busting series and we are in my myth busting video number 2, and today we are talking about the myths on self-love. Yes, self-love, the most discussed topic on recent days. Yes, ये topic तो वैसे ages say it should have been passed on to us from generations over generations, but unfortunately I'm only hearing about this topic or reading about this topic of late, maybe since last 4 to 5 years. So let's see, what is self-love? Is self-love taking putting a nice makeup, going to a spa and taking a selfie self-love? Is that self-love all about? Is taking care of yourself, going to the gym, taking a selfie self-love all about? Going for a movie with your family, friends, going on a dinner date, is that self-love all about? No. As I said, of course these are a form of self-love that puts together and makes a part of self-love. But self-love is a concept which means, what do you mean by self-love? Loving yourself, and loving yourself should come as a priority to every individual. You know how we are born and brought up? We have been born and brought up listening about stories about our mothers, their sacrifices, our fathers, their sacrifices, our children, their sacrifices. In spite of we are going through so much of trouble, the mother did not eat herself and fed her children. The father did not buy a shoe for himself and took care of his family. The son did not do anything for himself but gave all the money to their parents once he started earning. So you would have heard a lot of stories like this, right? So yes, fortunately or unfortunately, our grooming since the childhood has been around this. So today when we are talking about self-love, let's first understand self-love. Then point 1 should be putting yourself first, putting yourself before anybody else. So what do you mean by putting yourself first? So you would say, Romita, do you mean that if I have a last penny left, I do it for myself and not for my family? No, I'm not talking about that. Okay, what I am talking about is what putting yourself first means. Let's get deeper into this topic. Do not tolerate any disrespectful behavior from anybody, be it at your work, be it at your family, be it within your friends. Taking the ownership of your own respect is the biggest form of self-love and putting yourself first. Okay, so this is the first thing. Second is, do not tolerate any abuse. I heard and I saw a lot of people going through domestic violence, and people don't even object. Okay, so domestic violence, financial violence, official harassments, abuses, okay, by bosses, co-employees, a lot of things, bullies at school, okay, bullies at college. So people go through a lot of abuse at every stage of their life. We have also gone through, but it doesn't mean we have to live with it. It is not. It's a first no. So yes, self-love also means do not tolerate any kind of abuse. Trust me, every abuse has a way to find its own solution. So talk about it, get help if you need, but do not go through any abuse. Okay. Third thing is being emotionally and mentally stable is your third biggest form of self-love. So what does that mean, Romita? Definitely a question arises, right? So if something happened with me, I shouldn't be crying, I shouldn't be venting it out, or I shouldn't be sharing it with people, because I am in this concept called self-love, and I have to emotionally balance myself. No. Emotionally and mentally being stable, I have learned it the hard way, maybe recently. Trust me on this. It need not be something that you should not share with anybody else. Yes, you can talk about your problems with someone if you feel comfortable. If you're like me, I have very few people who I share my issues with. That's okay. If you don't want to share, that's okay. Allow yourself to feel your emotions. Okay? Go through that cry, that fight session. Okay? That moment when you feel terrible. And trust me, it's okay to feel terrible for that moment. Okay? It's okay to cry. It's okay to share with someone else. No, these are not going against your rule of the so-called self-love. Self-love rather means that you have gone through all those moments and finally you have composed yourself back to doing what you want to do, back to taking your own decision. Okay, so this is self-love, and not if somebody is telling you, oh, you have to do the self-love and you cannot cry and you cannot share. I'm sorry, those are all bullshit. You can cry. Of course, you're allowed to feel each and every of your emotion at any point of your life. So feel that, but compose yourself back to what you want. Compose yourself back to, doing what you want to do. Okay? This is self-love. Now, the final one, this is, my most favorite, being independent. And this independence can be anything. Okay, financially independent travel wise. I have experienced it recently because of course I have always been a career woman. We have always worked, or I've tried my own entrepreneurial ventures and all that. Not about financial independence, but yes, when I learned driving, I really knew what is being independent. All this while, whether it is raining, if I wanted to go out, meet my friends, or do something that I want to do, I couldn't, because I was dependent on either the Uber guy will not show up or somebody else to take the car out and then I go, things like that. But yes, like I have experienced it through driving. I'm sure there's a lot of areas of your life that you will experience independence through. So this is another form of self-love. And of course, your personal care, your health care, your doing things for yourself, giving time to your passion. Okay, giving time to, like, for example, you have a passion to cook, like I do. Okay, I have a passion to box. Do it after your work. Okay, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to practice your passion. It is okay to follow your dreams. Okay, it is okay to do things, take care of yourself. So I go through this a lot. Okay, a lot of people actually tell me that तेरे पास बहुत टाइम है यार, तू मेकअप इतना मतलब अच्छे से मेकअप करके आती है, you take care of your skin. Okay, even if when you don't put makeup, your skin glows. You have all the time for yourself यार. How? हम तो सिर्फ बच्चे मैनेज करते ही थक जाते हैं. So yes, of course बच्चे मैनेज करना ज़रूरी है. Because I take care of myself doesn't mean that my daughter doesn't study or my daughter doesn't behave properly. She's a very good girl and I'm proud of my daughter. So taking care of yourself only shows your kids that yes, you are important as a person. Okay, taking care, speaking up for yourself, standing up for yourself are forms of self-love. Okay, and it should pass on generation to generation. So if you are practicing it, okay, you should pass it on to your next generation. So tomorrow, if your daughter is in a college or your son is in a college and they go through a bully, somebody tells them, hey, you are, for example, your kids settled in US and there are a lot of racist kids around them. It can be a scenario, right? So let them not feel bad about themselves. It's okay if somebody is making them feel, making them feel bad by racism. But it should not, we should teach our kids or anybody, generation on generation, not to feel bad. कि अगर हमारा स्किन टोन थोड़ा किसी और से कम है या फिर हमारा इंटेलिजेंस किसी और की तरह नहीं, हम किसी और वे में इंटेलिजेंट है, सो वी आर नॉट लेस. Okay, if अगर मेरी height छोटी है, like I always hear it from people, you are short, okay, that's why you look fat, okay. Then so many things basically. So let's not feel bad, dumb, or sick about ourselves. That is a form of self-love that should have passed generation on generation. Do not take a bully. It's okay if somebody is telling you you're darker, you're shorter, you're fatter. That's the way you are. If you love yourself, you love your body. Eventually, you will love your appearance. And even if somebody else is giving you any bullshit, I'm sorry, don't mind my language. You don't take it. Just move on, because you know you are perfect in your own way. There must be 10 other ways that you are perfect in. You're perfect the way you are. Finally, each one of us, our body, our soul, our mind is a gift of God, right? So that is self-love. Standing up for yourself, taking care of yourself, not tolerating abuse, and passing on these things, these grooming, loving yourself, generation on generation. I think that is the biggest form of self-love, and it is just not a one day or few hours or a week or 21 days process. Self-love, as I say, should be inbuilt by birth in a child and should pass on to the next generation after we die. So yes, I think I've given you a small glimpse about what self-love looks like. Please practice self-love. Please teach self-love to everybody who is around you. Okay? पहले अपने आप को सुरक्षित रखें, उसके बाद कुर्सी की पेटी खुद पहले बांधे, उसके बाद किसी और की सहायता करें. So love yourself first, and then everything else will fall in place. Okay? So take care. Stay tuned to my channel. If you like my content, do give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.